Are you ready to win over $1,700 of readings, healings, and coaching? Join the Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness Facebook group, where we will be launching the Soul Search giveaway on November 13th. One lucky winner will win all of these prizes: numerology life analysis, soul connection psychic reading, intuitive reading, holy fire healing, personal business coaching, channeling from source, Starseed origins reading, mediumship reading, all from our incredible Soul Search luminary practitioners and TV stars. Don't miss this incredible opportunity for transformation and enlightenment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cheri Arellano here of Divine Light Codes. And we are so excited that you guys are all joining us today because Cheri is part of our amazing first ever Soul Search giveaway that's happening in our Facebook group, where one lucky person is going to win $1,700 of healings, readings, and coaching, and including an amazing Starseed origin reading from Cheri. And if you guys have not joined our Facebook group yet, the link is right here below: Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness. It's our private Facebook group, so come on in there and join the group. All you have to do to win this contest is invite all of your Facebook friends. So just go in, invite your Facebook friends. One invitation equals 1 point. They don't have to accept, although we hope they do. And whoever is going to get the most points is going to win this massive package. And you are going to be in for a huge transformation in 2025 if you're getting so many amazing readings and healings from all of our practitioners. And so really excited to introduce Cheri. Her company, Divine Light Codes, is a global healing haven for awakening starseeds and all beings on their ascension journey. Cheri is a multidimensional healer, artist, and alchemist, and she is devoted and committed to supporting all souls on their ascension journey and supports them in working through different obstacles that may come up during this incarnation. And so welcome, Cheri. We're so excited to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Tangela. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here as well.
Welcome. And you are providing this amazing prize for our giveaway, the Starseed Origin Readings. And so tell us a little bit about that. What is the star? What are star seeds for those who are new? I know a lot of people know, but for those who are new, what are star seeds? Let's start with the basics.
All right, that sounds great. So star seeds are beings, souls, humans, people like us, that we meet every day, who feel as if their soul perhaps did not originate on planet Earth. And therefore, their soul, when God gave you your divine spark, it could have been in a different universe, a different solar system, a different planet, or, a different place entirely that we haven't named yet. So many of the common star seeds, hello, Linda, good morning.
Hi, Linda.
Many of the common star seeds are from places we've labeled, such as the Pleiades, the Sirius star system, the Lyran star system, Andromeda, Orion, many of the solar systems that our scientists have labeled, and our psychics and healers have also confirmed that those beings are from those places. So I've been doing Starseed readings now for a few years, and it does happen occasionally where we get someone and I'm like, I don't know where you're from. I'm sorry, you're not on my chart. You're off the charts, literally. And so a lot of starseeds feel as if they don't belong from planet Earth. They have memories of living on other planet, the environment, the atmosphere looked different, felt different, and they're like, why do I keep having this dream or this reoccurring vision of this other type of planetary environment? And so those are common symptoms. And And so why are we here on Earth is another big question that I get. So star seeds are beings whose souls may have originated on a different planet or star system, but are now on Earth in this human body or human meat suit, I like to call it, um, because we're here to awaken humanity, and we're here to help all the people on the planet go through this ascension process. So there's my
Amazing.
long answer.
No, that's a great answer. Very detailed. And thank you for providing that, because that's a question that we actually often get. And even, at our Soul Search Expos, we have a lot of new people who are coming in who
Yes.
they feel a little bit different, and there's some questions, but they haven't necessarily heard the term. And then once they do, they're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
Right, exactly. And they resonate with it. Many star seeds will resonate with that definition of like, some other common symptoms are like they feel like they're the black sheep of their family. They didn't fit in as a child. People thought they were weird or different. I even had a cousin say to me once, there's something different about you. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. You're just different.
Mhm.
Meaning different from the rest of the family. And I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 at the time. And I was like, okay, whatever. At the time it made me feel alienated, but that's a common thing that many star seeds hear. And it is because we were sent here with a very specific purpose and mission. And that is to awaken ourselves and remember who we are. But then once that's done, we have to help others awaken and remember who they are and get on their sacred soul's path and life journey, to help humanity's evolution.
Amazing. And so when did you
Mhm.
start understanding and learning about star seeds and the ascension path, and knowing that this was a part of your path to really be this multidimensional healer and teacher that you are today?
Yeah, so I had my second awakening in 2012, and I started going into like more spirituality and learning meditation and learning that we're more than just this body. Um, and I started going to contact in the desert in 2013. And I remember it was right around then. It was right around 2013, 2014 when I started hearing this word starseed a lot. And
Mhm.
I didn't really pay much attention to it because I was more focused on my healing journey and learning healing modalities. And then I went to Contact in the Desert again. I went like 4 years in a row, but I think it was the last one in Joshua Tree, and it was like 2017 maybe. And I was there with a group of friends, and we all started saying, I don't know, I think I might be a starseed. Do you think you're a starseed? I don't know. I think I might be and we were all just kind of like looking to each other for confirmation because we didn't really have any source to go to confirm it or anything like that, except for like asking our own psychic friends. So we were the psychic network. And then at some point, I just kind of delve into it deeper and started learning about all the different types. And I incorporated it into my healing modality system and then just started offering it as a service to my clients. And people really love it. And I have to say, like, it really activates something within you. Like, once you learn that you are, in fact, a starseed and where you come from, it really activates something in people.
Definitely. And so, what have you found? Like, one, what can people expect from a starseed origins reading? Like, what does that look like? And what are some of the transformations you've seen people go through once they, start getting in
Mhm.
touch with their star family?
Great question. Yeah, so we go in, my higher self connects to your higher self. I douse and ask your higher self, are you in fact a starseed? It's almost always a yes. Um,
Mhm.
because the star seeds are the ones who are brave enough to come and ask. That's the way
Sure.
I see it. And then I'll ask like for your top 3 most prominent lifetimes, because if you are a starseed, your soul is at least 15 billion years old. You
Wow.
could have been around since the beginning of creation, and
Mhm.
and therefore, you've been around the proverbial block, and you've had many, many lifetimes on different star systems, different planets, and also on Earth. And so I just ask source for like, what are your top 3 most prominent incarnations that need to come through to help you be in alignment with your soul's path and your highest and best good? So you may learn that you're a Lyran or a Pleiadian or, Andromedan or whatever. And each one has different characteristics or traits or personality types. So, for example, like the blue avians who come from the Lyra star system, they tend to really be into science and technology, and they're very intellectual, almost a little bit reserved. They
Mhm.
often go into careers like science, math, technology, that kind of thing. And they're incredible thinkers. Like they can have the eagle eye view where they look at a project from way up here, and they see the big picture, or they develop the big picture, and then they can also zoom in and see the minutia and work on the minutia, like an eagle, like he can soar at 1,000 feet but then zoom down and see a mouse in a field. And
Mhm.
so the blue, that's a trait of the blue avians, for example. um,
Mm.
and then what was your second part of your question? It was so good, I wanted to answer it.
No, that's a great first answer. And then the second part was, so what kind of transformations have you seen occur once people, receive that star reading from you and begin to get in touch with their galactic family, with their star nation?
Right. Yeah. So I have a client who she's been working with me since like 2019 or 2018, and she's doing like a bundle. So she did like her DNA reprogramming or energy healing, and we did a starseed reading in there as well. And she said, Cheri, I don't know what you activated in me, but she said that like she's um, been eating completely healthfully, like only vegetables
Nice.
and fruits and nuts and legumes and things like that. She's also started walking in nature every day, and she said she can't get enough of it. It's like she has to walk in nature, or she just feels off for the rest of the day.
Hmm.
She also her creative path is lighting up. So like pottery is always something she's wanted to do. And so now she's like looking into doing pottery classes and stuff like that. And she's in tech. She's a manager in tech industry. And she has a lot of envy and jealousy at work because she's an African woman, literally from Africa, and she's the manager of like 35 people. And so there's a lot of jealousy in her field because A, she's a woman, B, she's African.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that's just the society we still live in. And a lot of negativity that might come her way kind of is shielded, and it just falls off. So
Wow.
things are like working out for her universally, where she doesn't really have to try so hard. And I'm not saying that's 100% because of my starseed reading. I'm just saying now that she's like, she knows who she is as a soul, and she knows how powerful she is. Her
Hmm.
powers of manifestation are just like boom, boom, boom. But it's like she's firing on all cylinders. So, what it
Wow.
does for you is it wakens up your confidence, your queenness, your fabulousness, knowing how powerful you are, because I feel like that's something that we struggle with as humans, and especially like the Pleiadians, for example. The Pleiadians are very soft, they're meek, mild mannered beings. They're here to transmute darkness into light. They're here to heal people. Like Pleiadians don't have to be healers or anything. They just walk into a room and they start transmuting energy right away, whether
Mm.
they know it or not. But
Sure.
sometimes they can also be doormats, or like people take advantage of their kindness because they're so gentle and giving. So, we all know a person like this, right?
Yeah.
Who just like gives and gives and gives, and people take advantage of them. And so when they learn their soul's ancient history, it
Mhm.
awakens something in them to be like,
Mhm.
oh, well, I'm not just here to give away all of my beautiful light and energy. I'm also here to heal and transmute energy and to help people awaken to their divine soul path.
Definitely. No,
So,
that's really
yeah.
empowering. It's really empowering, Cheri. And I think that's such an important point that you
Woo.
made because we're here on planet Earth, and obviously, we're born and we have so many programs around us that we're working with, that we're dealing with all the time, that can
Mm-hmm.
really keep us disconnected from who we are.
Right.
And
Right.
all of a sudden, if you begin to understand, wait a minute, I'm so much more than I've been told my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So much more. And I have so much history, so much cosmic connection, so many abilities. All of a sudden, this whole energetic expansion is occurring for people, which I think is amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I love that. Like, I love seeing their divine spark be activated and seeing them stand in their power, right? Because that's what I do as a healer as well. Is like I try to get people to feel empowered and to remove limiting beliefs and blocks and old traumas and stuff like that, and stand in their power fully as a sovereign light being. And we're all that, and it just needs that little shift to awaken that in people.
Exactly. And then you've
Yeah.
also been mentioning you do, DNA code activations and healing work. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, so I do energy healing work. The modality is called quantum psionics. So it's quantum healing, psionics meaning the power of the mind. I also do a modality called the crystalline healing light. These are all quantum healing techniques that I do. And one of the methods I also use is called DNA holographic reprogramming. So it's not really repair, it's more like reprogramming. So we take, because your DNA is two things, right? It's physical and it's energetic, just like the
Mhm.
body, right? We're physical and we're energetic. And so your DNA is also that. All the cells in your body are that. You can look at Joe Dispenza's work, Bruce Lipton's work, and even what's the third guy's name? I'm blanking. The
Greg
one
Braden.
who, yes, Greg Braden. Thank you. They've all, scientifically proven that our cells have intelligence, energetic intelligence. And so part of that holographic DNA gets programmed with limiting beliefs or ancestral trauma, or DNA trauma, if you will. So, ancestral trauma is like, let's say your grandma had a belief that we're poor, we're always going to be poor, we have to eat every scrap of food on the table because we don't know where our next meal's going to come from, right? And that gets passed down to your mother and maybe to you. And we're not living in the Cold War anymore. We're not living in that poverty consciousness. We're living in a time of abundance, right?
Mhm.
And manifestation. So, but you might have this thing where you're like, I have to eat every bite of food on my plate, and you don't know why or where that comes from.
Mm. Mhm.
And it's not really serving you, maybe. So that's something we look at, and we look to see, like, well, what's coming in from your ancestors, what's coming in through your DNA. Um, some is behavioral things, that behaviors that we inherit, and some are in the DNA. And so those are the ones that are tougher to get to and to heal. And so we remove things like, stress, trauma, believing you're not good enough or that you're supposed to be poor for your whole life. And we reprogram them with abundance, joy, love, confidence, whatever the person needs. We go and we dive into like all of the emotions and traumas and figure out individually what that person needs to work on.
And this next level quantum healing work that you do and that others also do, is this connected to the galactic realms, to our other lives as star seeds? How is that related?
I think it is all connected. I haven't like gone back that far yet in my healing work and said, "Oh, you had this trauma,"
Yeah.
because I'm still like merging it all together. But I'll give you an example. So I've been told by 3 other psychics, healers, whatever you want to call it, intuitive beings, that that I was an angel in Archangel Michael's army of light, and I was there during the great battle when Lucifer fell. Okay, like the Armageddon, the battle. And I had those like gold shoulder pads and the armor, and I was a battle angel basically. And I've always had this pain in my left shoulder, and it comes and goes. It like rears its ugly head and then it goes away. And sometimes like my shoulder will get so tight, it'll like raise up and I'll be walking around like Quasimodo.
Wow.
And so I've had 3 people tell me like, "Oh yeah, you had a wing cut off." Another time, "You had your arm cut off." Then the 3rd person said, "Oh yeah, you've been stabbed on that left side multiple times, like probably in every lifetime you've either lost an arm, you had your arm cut, or you lost a wing."
Wow. So these can actually be repeating
Yes.
lifetime.
It's a repeating lifetime thing that kept happening to me. And that's why, like, I have to get massages like once a month, because when I'm under a lot of stress, this shoulder goes, it just raises up and it gets really tight. And I feel like I'm holding the weight of the world there.
Sure. Wow.
And so when I had that understanding of like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And I believe it because 3 people told me who were unrelated, at different times. That this was over the course of like 3 years. I was
Exactly.
like, "Oh my God, it makes so much sense."
The universe is trying to give you a message there.
Exactly. So
Wow, no,
that's an example of something that could carry over galactically, from lifetime to lifetime.
Sure. That's amazing. And so are you finding, because even for me, I was only introduced to galactic families and star nations and, the different star seeds, probably, I think it was in 2020. So relatively recently. And it's been amazing, right? So have you seen like more and more people opening up to this, more and more people coming to you, more and more people curious? What does this phenomenon look like to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say more and more people are definitely opening up to the concept of star seeds, and they're curious. I kind of live in a bubble because I'm always working in this realm of energy healing and star seeds. So in my small mind, I'm like, everyone knows what star seeds are, but really they don't. Like there's still a lot of people who don't know. And I had the pleasure of speaking at Soul Search about star seeds and other shows in the Valley. And I always ask the audience at the beginning, like, how many of you have heard of star seeds? How many of you think you might be a star seed? And I'm always surprised that at least half the room has not heard of star seeds, but they came to the talk anyways because there was something in the title or description that created a curiosity for them. So I'm always
Interesting.
assuming like it's all star seeds coming in, but it's not, it's just everyone. And there's still a lot of people who haven't heard this term star seeds, but I do feel like it's moving more into the mainstream.
Amazing. And you did speak about star seeds at our last Soul Search Enlightenment Expo in Scottsdale. And yeah, I'm surprised to hear too that you said half the room actually had never heard of star seeds, but they
Yeah.
resonated enough with your talk and your topic and you to say, I don't even know what this is, but I have to go find out and learn more.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm always impressed when I see that in the rooms, and it was the same at like Embracing Your Journey and the Wellness Expo in Glendale. So it's pretty excited. It's exciting. I'm happy to see how many people are open to it. And
Mhm.
then after I give my talk and I explain what star seeds are and what the symptoms and signs are that you might be a star seed, at the end, I asked the room again, like, okay, who wants to be activated? Who wants a starseed activation? And they all raised their hands. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Because if you didn't, I didn't do my job well.
Everyone's like, I'm ready for this activation.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do the activation and then, many of them will come and ask for a starseed reading afterwards or stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of interest in this topic. Yeah,
Wow.
they
So
want to know.
I love how you mentioned that you actually say your top three incarnations or,
Hmm.
um, origins. And I think that's great because I think that's why a lot of people often ask me, like, oh, how, I'm an Andromedan. How could I be something else? Or I'm a Syrian. How could I be something else?
Hmm.
And I love that you're talking about, hey, this is a much bigger picture because,
Right.
we're 15
Yes.
billion years old. There's a lot of planets out there, a lot of lifetimes, a lot of dimensions. And
Yes.
so when do people come to you thinking that they're only one type of star seed, and how do they react if you tell them actually there's more there than meets the eye?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. I think that I also thought I was just one type of star seed in the beginning. I thought I was just Syrian and that I reincarnated as a Syrian every time.
Mm,
And I think when you're first uncovering your starseed origins, someone will tell you, like, oh, you feel like a Pleiadian or you feel like a Syrian or whatever. And so you kind of latch on to that belief in that star system or whatever.
mhm.
Um, and then, so yeah, I think people are a little bit surprised at first that, oh, I'm actually more than one thing. But then when you think about it, it really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And my nephew was in town last week. He visited from Florida, and we went to Sedona, and we did the Sky Watch with Melinda Leslie, and
Nice. I love
yeah,
that. Awesome. When I first came to Sedona, I did that with her as well.
yeah, yeah. And then I said, "Do you?" Because he believes he's a starseed. I said, "Do you want a starseed reading?" And he said, "No, because I don't want to limit
Mhm,
myself." And I was
mhm,
like, "Wow, that's such a profound answer because." We're not just one thing. I'm going to tell you your top three, but you could be like 100 different, and if you know this about our galactic history,
mhm,
there's a common like known story out there in the cosmic origins that the Lyran star system
mhm,
was destroyed by a malevolent race and they lost their main planet Vega, and so they had to all flee and go to other star systems like the Pleiades and Sirius, and kind of like in the Superman movie when they put Superman in the shuttle and they shot him off to Earth. It was like that. And so therefore, okay, you had a lifetime as a Lyran, then you had a lifetime as a Sirian or Pleiadian because you moved to that planet or star system and you probably reincarnated there. And I also believe that when we were those ancient beings, our lifetimes were 1,000 years. They weren't
mm,
88 years. We lived to be 1,000, 5,000. Like who knows how old we live to be. So
wow.
it's hard to wrap our minds around when we're thinking like we only live 85 years, but
Mm.
we lived much longer lifetimes as those cosmic galactic beings.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
everything is so quantum and it can be difficult when we're really kind of thinking in this like linear timeline, earthly linear timeline. But when we do begin speaking about the galactic family and connecting, all of a sudden these activations and expansions occur, which is
Right.
what I love to see, and I love to hear, because all of
Mhm.
a sudden we're whether or not even, people will believe you. If, let's say, they come to your talk and they're like, a little bit healthy dose of skepticism, but it doesn't even matter if people are believing every word you say. It's that automatic expansion that occurs when you are really allowing your soul to open up to what else is out there, right?
Right, exactly. And I always preface it with saying, you probably need to believe in reincarnation to to even, like, let's start there. Step 1, do you
Yeah.
believe in reincarnation, And then, like, now we can delve into the topic of star seeds
Mhm.
and explore that, we're not all originally from Earth. Yeah, so it's an interesting, like, you kind of have to really open your mind to grasp this concept. And I feel like today, with all the cosmic disclosure we're getting, with the government releasing all the evidence that there is life on other planets, we're not
Yep.
alone in the universe, that people are now starting to really open their minds and believing that, yeah, there's other planets, there's other star systems that have life.
Exactly. And that's just in
Yeah,
the mainstream news. That's, being released, like, the last few weeks, a lot of disclosure happening. And it's
right.
just really the tip of the iceberg, right? But it's like, if
Yeah.
this is being disclosed just publicly, that, hey, there is life out there. We have seen and experienced UAPs, UFOs.
Mm.
There you
Right.
go. If that's a reality for us now, then really,
Uh-huh.
what's the possibility that exists out there?
Right. And I believe that a lot of star seeds have contact experience. You've probably at least seen a ship, or you've seen something you couldn't explain, or you had a being standing in your room at night, like, or you've you see orbs maybe. A lot of star seeds are very psychic, very empathic, very intuitive.
Mhm.
And they often go into the fields of, in these type of fields that you and I work in, because they feel that strong calling.
Definitely. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up, because it's true. Um, a lot of people have had some type of contact experience, and
Mhm.
they don't have anyone to share it with, right? Or
Right.
it just remains hidden until
Mhm.
suddenly maybe they meet someone like you, or they come to an expo and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, I can actually share about this experience that I've had."
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and then you start to connect all the dots, right? You start to connect, like, "Oh, yeah, I felt different as a child. I'm the black sheep of the family. I saw this ship. Maybe I am a star seed," and then and maybe you have some psychic gifts. And so, that's all part of you. It's part of your mission here on Earth. And I believe that every star seed has a mission on Earth to
Mhm.
help humanity awaken. So some do it by helping the plants and animals and
Mhm.
the planet. They go into, like, sustainability and eco fields. That was like my first 20 years of my awakening. I had a green graphic design agency in San Francisco for 20 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it was called Conscious Creative.
Well, very cool. I didn't know about that, actually.
Yeah, that's why I say my first awakening. I did that from 2002 to, like, 2020, practically 2022. And then in 2014 and 2013, I started go wanting to help people more on an individual level, and started learning the energy healing modalities and stuff like that. And so, a lot of them will work with animals or seniors, or they do some kind of humanitarian work, or they're psychics, or, they feel this, like, strong calling to help in some way. And it may not be like, "Oh, I'm a healer," or whatever. It could be a teacher. You could be a teacher and you want to help the kids. So it can look like many different things. And then again, I said, like, there's the people who, like the Pleiadians, you could be a stay-at-home mom, and you just light up a room when you walk in, and all your friends want to tell you their problems, and all your friends stand close to you, and they're always touching you because you exude this wonderful light and energy, and they can feel it in their subconscious. So they want to like tell you their problems because you're a good listener. They want to stand in your light field, so it shows up in many different ways. So I don't want people to think like I have to be this certain way or have a certain career to step into my power and my path, because you can do it in so many different ways.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to make, because sometimes people, once they start opening up, they're like, wait a minute. So am I supposed to be a psychic? Am I supposed to be a healer? Am I supposed to be an intuitive? I'm like, you can if that's what you want, but you don't have to.
Right.
You can bring those gifts into any profession. You can bring those gifts into any path, right?
Right. Exactly.
And I wanted to ask you this question because, we are in such a tumultuous time right now, very chaotic, political sphere, wars, a lot of different things happening around us, social issues. How does connecting with our galactic selves help us work with this era that we're in? And why were we called here during this time?
Well, I can speak to that, I think, from my own experience. It is a tough time to be on the planet in one way. We're dealing with a massive shift in technology, in what the family dynamic looks like, in
Mhm.
politics, just we're going through a massive shift, right?
Mhm.
And it can be challenging. And for those star seeds who are like, I don't want to be on this planet, I want to go back home, because a lot of people, a lot of star seeds say that too, like, I want to go
Yeah.
back home. And it's like, well, no, you chose to be here. You chose to sign up to be here at this exact moment when Pluto is leaving Capricorn and moving into Aquarius. I mean, this is literally the Aquarian age that we're entering, which is a time of light, joy, abundance, people standing in their gifts and sharing their gifts with others. Um, and so, as difficult as it can be politically, financially, it's kind of like that saying where they say, like, the darkest part of the night is just before the dawn.
Mhm.
Like it may feel like we're going through this dark descension right now as we move more into the ascension, and so I would just encourage people to stay strong, stand in your power and your light, and remember that you're here for a reason. Like, you signed up to be here to assist with this change, because and that's how I started on this journey, actually. Like, I was really into the ascension, and I was like, oh my God, what is the ascension? I got to learn about this. I got to figure this out. I started a YouTube channel called the Ascension Sessions, and
Mm.
I went to Conscious Life Expo in 2017, and I interviewed Laura Eisenhower, Billy Carson, Tracy Ash, Lori McDowell, like all these people. And I asked them, what is ascension?
Mhm.
How do you define ascension? Because I learned that there was many different definitions of ascension, and but it was important enough that I needed to get the word out. I wanted to share with humanity that we are going through this shift, a
Mhm.
planetary shift. The planet's going through it, we're going through it as well. And why? Well,
Mm.
because we need to evolve. So right now, many of us are stuck in 3D mentality and awareness and existence. And we also move into the fourth D and the fifth D throughout our day. Like, many of us are doing this all day long,
Mhm.
right? So, how do we get humanity to keep ascending and be in 5D more often? We work on our consciousness.
Mhm.
And why do we want to do that? Well, because if nobody could lie to each other, because we all could read each other's minds, there'd be no crime, there'd
Mhm.
be less fear. Everybody would be just honest with each other. Free
Mhm.
technology can come in. People won't be worrying about, how am I going to pay my rent next month, you know
Mhm.
We can move into a phase on earth with where we can live with ease and grace and
Mhm.
have a charming life where we do art or we do sciences or we do medicine or we do the things that we love without worrying about having to put a roof over our heads all the time.
Mhm.
You know, so that's why this is so important to me, because I want to see us move into that existence of reality where we're all doing the things we love. We're all working from our intuition and our light bodies, and we're not worried about abundance and security and safety. So, like, our lower chakras are firm and we're all like operating out of the upper chakras. Can you imagine like how amazing that will be?
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. That's what we're here for, right?
Exactly.
We're here to usher in the Aquarian age, and it's happening. And like you said, the more
Yes.
more of us that really stand in that, right, in that vision and in that knowing,
Mhm.
we're creating that together as a
Right.
consciousness. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, that's part of my mission here is just to help people awaken to the ascension and also to their starseed origins so that they can get on their sacred path and get in their whatever they're supposed to do here on earth
Mhm.
so we can all lift together and faster, lift humanity.
Exactly. So beautiful. So,
Yeah.
Cheri, thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's been such an amazing conversation. And for you guys tuning in live or on the replay, you have the opportunity to actually win an amazing Starseed Origins reading with Cheri Arellano of Divine Light Codes. And like you guys heard here today, this is really an opportunity, one, to get to know yourself, which is a huge empowering act, and also
Mhm.
to then begin to understand at a much broader perspective who you are and what you're here to do on this planet. And Cheri, I love what you said there at the end that, we're all just here to uplift humanity together. And so the more that we get to know ourselves and empower ourselves, we have the ability to really stand in that. So thank you for all your
Mhm.
amazing, for all of you guys tuning in to win this amazing Origins reading. All you have to do is just join our Facebook group below, Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness, and then just invite your friends to join. One invitation equals 1 point, and whoever gets the most points is going to win $1,700 worth of readings, healings, and coaching, and is going to be ready for a big transformation and uplift in 2025. So that's going to be fun. So tune in with us, join the giveaway in the Facebook group. And Cheri, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
thank you so much for having me. And it's such a great idea. I'm so glad you're doing this giveaway. It's really fantastic. And I wanted to ask you, can we join as well?
yes, of
Can
course. Definitely join away. Start
Okay.
inviting. That would be awesome if one of our practitioners wins.
Yeah, can I
Because
win?
yes, you can win. You can win. So no one is not allowed to win, even me. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
yeah, definitely invite away, and you guys come and join us as well. And Cheri, thank you so much. We'll be seeing you and chatting with you soon. And blessings
Yay.
to all of you guys for tuning in today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tangela, and thank you for all your awesome questions and being such a
Oh,
beautiful host. Yes.
thank you so much. It was fun. I love, what's more fun than chatting about star seeds?
Right. It's a fun topic.
It is. It is. So thanks you again. And thanks to all of you for tuning in with us. Lots of love. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Are you ready to win over $1,700 of readings, healings, and coaching? Join the Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness Facebook group, where we will be launching the Soul Search giveaway on November 13th. One lucky winner will win all of these prizes: numerology life analysis, soul connection psychic reading, intuitive reading, holy fire healing, personal business coaching, channeling from source, Starseed Origins reading, mediumship reading, all from our incredible Soul Search luminary practitioners and TV stars. Don't miss this incredible